They're saying the FBI has already interviewed the Cabo Six. But guess what? Mexico wants a bite at the apple. They also want the FBI to share the interviews.
At the time that Shanquella Robinson last communicated with her mother, she was in Cabo, Mexico, having a good time with her friends at a villa. She would then be discovered dead in fewer than 24 hours. The manner in which she passed away and the identity of those involved also would stay unknown until recently. But there is a regularly updated timeline of known events, as well as a list of shocking reports that have since followed via the internet. Meanwhile, her narrative is still being pieced together and more information is becoming available as it is uncovered. Let's take a look. The 28th of October, 2022, a Friday, Shanquella Robinson and 5 of her friends left for San Jose del Cabo in Mexico. They were reportedly leaving from Charlotte, North Carolina. The following day, on his own, our 6th companion, Nazir Wiggins, makes his way over. That said, Shanquella places a call to her mother, Salamandra Robinson, in the evening as she is eating dinner at the villa with her friends, who are served by a private chef.
Oh man. So one of Shanquella's close friends on Instagram, they screen recorded her last post on social media. If you guys do not know, Instagram has a feature where you can have a private story, where you can make private posts and only a selected few of people can see it. So someone, whether they are a family member or an actual close friend, decided to screen record this video before the 24 hours was up. And everything happens for a reason because it's so telling, the energy in this room. Check out this clip.
According to Shanquella's mother, who claims that her daughter appeared to be enjoying her trip, Shanquella had apparently posted posts to social media between the time that they arrived in Mexico on the 28th and the time that she died on the 29th. However, her death mysteriously occurred the day after they arrived, the 29th of October, 2022, a Saturday. According to a self-posted Facebook Live video where he sought to make his case, Nazir Wiggins claimed that he arrived in Mexico at approximately 2:16 p.m. Mountain Standard Time on the day in question. To reiterate, this is one day following the arrival of the larger group. After he has arrived, he begins asking members of the group for the whereabouts of the property by calling them. Wiggins is supposedly notified about Shanquella's illness while they are on this call together. Nazir Wiggins' short clip about the entire incident. According to him, her friends told him that she had become ill as a result of drinking too much alcohol, whereas Wiggins is most likely on his way to the villa at this point. The precise timing of the attack on Shanquella is currently based on 2 known details: the assumed time of day according to the leaked videos of the altercation, and the reported time of death according to the autopsy report from the Mexican Secretariat of Health. Because timestamps and further relevant information are unknown as of this writing, the exact timing of the attack on Shanquella is currently based on these 2 details. According to the results of the autopsy, though, Shanquella Robinson passed away at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and the period of time between her injuries and her death was 15 minutes. Given this information, it may then be deduced that she was attacked at some point between an unknown time and 2:45 p.m. at the very latest. According to Nazir Wiggins, he arrived at the property at approximately 3:30 in the afternoon, saw the bigger group of friends gathered in a game room, and then made his way to Shanquella, whom he discovered unresponsive in the bathroom. Not long after Wiggins discovered the victim, another person who Wiggins assumes to be a nurse arrived at the scene. Not to forget, the mother of the 25-year-old woman, Salamandra, claims that she received 2 phone calls from a group of friends in the evening. The first call informed her that her daughter was not feeling well due to alcohol poisoning and that a doctor was being called. The second call informed her that medical personnel had arrived at the scene. It is currently unknown when exactly these phone calls were made, but if they were made prior to and upon the arrival of medics, which happened when Wiggins arrived at Shanquella's aid according to his account, then this call was likely made prior to or around 4 o'clock in the afternoon. This would then be consistent with Salamandra's assertion that the call was made later in the day, as it would have been around 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time when it occurred, which is basically Charlotte time. In addition, Shanquella's family claims that during the second conversation, they were placed on hold by one of the pals, who is said to be the native charlatan's best friend. They were informed once more by their acquaintance that the Robinsons' condition was brought on by alcohol poisoning, despite the fact that the autopsy would eventually prove that this was not the case. At 6:15 in the evening, though, a person of public security communicates with the Office of the State Attorney General in Baja California Sur, Mexico, regarding Shanquella's passing. According to reports, investigators already had arrived at the location to begin their work. And now, let's look at the days that followed. All 6 of Shanquella's alleged friends returned from Mexico to the United States, leaving the body of the victim right there in the villa after everything had taken place. Whereas, the week beginning November 6th and ending November 12th depicts that after a delay of 2 weeks and an additional $6,000, Shanquella's family finally received her body. Whereas, on Thursday, November 10, 2022, the results of the official autopsy are delivered to the family by the Mexican Secretariat of Health. The autopsy report stated that Shanquella had severe spinal cord damage and atlas luxation, but it made no mention of alcohol poisoning, despite the fact that her friends have stated on multiple occasions that she died of alcohol poisoning. For those of you who are unaware, a luxated atlas is an indication of instability or excessive movement in the vertebrae that are located at the very top of the neck. The 15th of November, 2022, a Tuesday. This was the day that leaked footage of the assault that occurred against Shanquella Robinson in October became viral on social media, which is followed by local American media sites and celebrities voicing alarm. On the other hand, on the 17th of November, which was a Thursday, 2022, the state attorney general, who was at the time overseeing the investigation into Robinson's death, stated that they were treating the incident as a possible femicide. On the 18th of November, 2022, which was a Friday, the story was picked up by several significant newspapers and television networks in the United States, including Good Morning America on ABC, The New York Post, and CBS News. All in all, as the investigation into the circumstances surrounding Shanquella Robinson's passing while she was in Mexico is carried further by the FBI, federal investigators will be required to comb through competing versions of events in order to determine the truth. However, a lawyer in Mexico who specializes in criminal defense claims that the autopsy should be trusted more than the report written by the police. Channel 9 was further able to obtain the full text of the police report regarding Robinson's passing thanks to a journalist working for the publication Metrópoli MX in Cabo. The journalist claims that he was able to secure a copy of the police report from a reliable source. And amidst all this, there have been fake Instagram clouds via which individuals have been claiming to be Shanquella's friends, and that of course has made it quite difficult for the investigation to move forward without any loopholes. Some people act as though they are Robinson's friends from his trip to Mexico, while some even pretend to be Shanquella herself. There is yet another fake account that claims to be Salamandra, and the person behind it asserts things about which she has no knowledge. According to Salamandra, she is still attempting to put the pieces together. She is also aware that Robinson's cause of death, time of death, and the fact that she was at the villa with a doctor for 3 hours before she passed away having consistent information in the police report and on the death certificate. Robinson has also voiced her anger with the doctor, claiming that he did not do enough to save her daughter and failed to identify the extent of the latter's injuries. Robinson is currently asking members of the general public as well as those who were on Shanquella's trip to contribute any remaining film and information that may help reveal the truth. According to Salamandra, I just think Mexico didn't care. They just didn't care, and they just wrote down what they told them. All of them had plotted this, in my belief, and they just said it was alcohol poisoning, and when the police came in to investigate, they could have looked at her and seen that she had been jumped on. I don't understand why not. She had a knot on her head, her lip was busted, and even the guy said she had a bloodshot eye. The doctor didn't do their job either. That's all for today. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Goodbye.